Miss Bailey gave me and Ricky 2 hall passes to a small room in the library. It was a room where we could talk out loud and read all about the Blabberbeak curse. She handed us the Book of Antidotes. We headed down the hall. Ricky was anxious to reverse this curse. We sat at a long table and opened the book. The first thing I learned was the meaning of the word antidote. The book said that it is like a medicine to counteract a poison. Becoming a Blabberbeak was a poison. It was making all of us sick. The next page had a short history of the Blabberbeak curse. I read this paragraph to Ricky. In days of yore, sorcerers got tired of their apprentices breaking test tubes, beakers, and other laboratory equipment. The Blabberbeak curse became curse number 13 when one apprentice dropped an entire box of beakers in one afternoon. That is interesting, but please proceed with great haste to the part that explains the steps I need to take to bring this affliction to a halt, Ricky rattled on. It looks like you have to do 3 things before midnight on Halloween. What things? Ricky asked. The first step is to find the definitions of elements, compounds, and solutions. You must take a picture of 3 examples of each word. They can be things you find around the house or around the yard. As you successfully complete each step, the number 13 will start to fade. Okay, what is step 2? Ricky asked. It says that you must make a list of 7 elements. Write their long name, like a Blabberbeak would. Then write their briefer forms. The shortened form is called their chemical symbol. Ricky was relieved. So far, this antidote seemed easy enough to do. It would be time-consuming, but he had a cell phone to use and David to help him get through it. He just had to make sure he did it in time. He did not want to be a Blabberbeak for the rest of his life. Okay, David, lay the 3rd step out for my attentive ears to absorb, Ricky insisted. I continued. You must write the full name of 5 compounds. Next to each one, you must write their shorter form. For compounds, the abbreviations are called formulas. That is it. And you already know if you don't do all the steps, you will be a Blabberbeak forevermore. Fortunately, at dinner, Ricky's sister had some exciting story to tell the family from her day. She talked so much that his parents did not notice that Ricky had not said a word. Afterwards, he hurried up to his room to begin work on the first step of his cure. Ricky sat on the bed and did a Google search to find the words he had to define. He had his notebook and a pencil with him to jot down some notes. He typed in E-L-E-M-E-N-T-S. He found many different meanings. He sighed. Which one shall I use? Which one shall I use? He called me on his cell phone. David, my dearest friend, there are numerous amounts of meanings for the word element. Listen to this. I listened to him read the definitions. It is for science class. I think you should use the one that says, an element is a substance that can't be broken down into a different substance by normal chemical means. Ricky thought that my idea made sense. He thanked me, wrote it down, and went on to the next word, compounds. Ricky knew the kind of meaning that he was searching for now. He was able to be fairly sure that a compound, like Miss Bailey wanted, was this. He wrote, compounds are what you get when elements are put together by chemical bonds. They are very strong and act like one substance. One more, Ricky thought. solutions. Again, he saw several definitions. He quickly found the one that pertained to science. Looks like it is a liquid mixture. Different amounts of ingredients are in the mix. The ingredient with the least amount is called the solute. It gets mixed with the major ingredient called the solvent. So Ricky wrote, solute plus solvent equals solution. He was starting to get sleepy, but successfully finished defining the 3 words. He was on his way to the cure before he fell off to sleep. Ricky was excited to show me that he had finished the definitions. He asked me to come with him to look in the restroom mirror. He wanted to see if the number 13 had faded from the whites of his eyes. I went with him. I lifted his eyelids. "Oh no! It is exactly the same. Bright as ever," I said. "What? Well, what did I do wrong?" Ricky said, horrified. "Where are the pictures you took of them?" "Oh, yeah, the pictures. I didn't. Back to the drawing board." Before recess, both of us searched the internet for a list of elements. Some had names so long and unfamiliar to us that we skipped right past them to elements we had heard before. Things like oxygen, sulfur, gold, helium, and sodium. Ricky brought his cell phone to recess. He would use the camera application to start taking his pictures. "Oxygen?" Ricky said, and scratched his head. "You could just take a picture of the sky, but I don't think it will please the gods of the blabberbeak curse. So maybe you ought to skip that one," I suggested. "How about gold?" I asked Ricky. He thought a minute, then pointed to the gold ball at the end of the flagpole. He was off in a flash with his camera. No pun intended. Up, up, up the flagpole he shimmied. He wanted that picture. He forgot one thing. Ricky was afraid of heights. I knew from experiences with him. Oh yes, he would climb up to the highest places with you. Getting down was a whole other thing. He would freeze. Sometimes it would take 5 minutes to talk him down. Sometimes it would take 2 hours. Oh no. Ricky was smiling and giving the thumbs up sign to show that he had gotten the picture. Then he looked down. Yes, it happened. He froze. The whistle blew for us to come in from recess. Miss Bailey saw Ricky at the top of the flagpole. "Come down from there," she said. "Time to go in." I told Miss Bailey about Ricky's little problem. Now the entire class was looking up at him. It took another 15 minutes to coax him down. Even Mr. Shockley, the chief custodian for the school, had shown up with a ladder. "What are you doing up there?" he asked. "He needs some pictures of elements," I responded. "He was going for the gold," Amy added. "The gold, huh? Well, I have a thermometer hanging on the office wall. It has mercury in it. Mercury is an element too. Take a picture of that. It is safer. Stay off the flagpole." We both thought that was a good idea. At lunch, we took a picture of a salt shaker too. Simple and safe. We checked Ricky's eyelids one more time before we headed for the bus. We were pleased to see the number 13 was only half as bright. Ricky passed this test.